You can bring mindfulness to any activity, including your daily meals. Alisa Dennis guides a mindful eating practice.
I would like to explore mindful eating with you. This is another practice that we can do daily. Most of us eat every day, and it's a beautiful way for us to sustain continuity of mindfulness throughout the day when we're off the meditation cushion. So the encouragement here when you're practicing mindful eating is to bring your interest, your curiosity into the experience of eating. I suggest that you maybe eat one meal a day or maybe a portion of a meal in silence. So not watching television or listening to the radio or talking to someone on the phone or reading the newspaper, but just eating. Knowing that you are eating when you are eating. Yeah. When we multitask, we're actually less able to bring our full awareness to what we intend to be paying attention to. Actually, multitasking is a myth. It doesn't really exist. What we're doing is we're vacillating back and forth between whatever it is that we're multitasking, and we're not really giving our full attention to either of those activities. So I encourage you, when you sit down to eat, to simply notice what's on your plate or in your bowl, noticing the colors of the food, noticing the shapes of the food, maybe the textures of the food that you're eating. If there's an aroma wafting in the air, you can inhale that. Or is there more than one aroma? Are they commingling with each other? Slowing down, noticing what you are about to eat. If you're eating something that you can pick up in your hand, maybe a piece of bread, you can notice, is it heavy or is it light? Noticing this, making contact with it. Noticing if your mouth begins to water. Do you feel the impulse to rush to put the food in your mouth? Yeah. How is this rushing known in the body? Yeah. If you're noticing your thoughts wandering away from the experience of eating, thinking about your to-do list or something else, just bring your attention back to the experience. You might imagine the seeds that were planted. The person who planted the seeds. What do they look like? You might visualize the water that nourished the plants that grew. You might visualize the sun that nourished the plants with its warmth and with its light. You might reflect upon the dark and fertile soil that nourished the roots of the plants. You might imagine the person who harvested the plants, the person who brought the fruits or the vegetables to the plant, the people who washed and packaged them, the person who drove them to the supermarket, person who put the food on the shelves, the person who sold you the food. Yeah, we are seeing into, feeling into the interconnectivity throughout this entire process, seeing into the truth that the entire universe exists in the food that we're eating, the earth, the air, the fire of the sun, the water, the space, right? The air that dispersed the seeds, all the people involved in bringing this food that you are about to eat to your table. So, you can now put the food in your mouth, noticing how the tongue is cradling the food in your mouth. Is the mouth beginning to water? What does it feel like on your tongue? What does it feel like as you begin to chew? Noticing the hardness of the teeth. Does the food begin to taste differently as you begin to chew? And then as you swallow your food, noticing the sensorial experience of swallowing in the throat and in the esophagus. And reflecting on whether eating this way is different for you. How is it different? Eating more slowly, eating with more appreciation. What arises for you as you eat in this slow and intentional way? You might ask yourself, how does eating more slowly, or how might eating more slowly benefit other aspects of your life? This practice of mindful eating can really be a building block for us about how to pay attention to every thought, every emotion, every image that might arise for us moment to moment. Mindfulness teaches us how to slow down and make space, to observe mindfully instead of rushing through something, rushing to get to the next thing that we want to do. And chances are, if we're rushing now, we're going to be rushing through the next thing that we're trying to get to. Whatever we have when we get somewhere is what we had along the way. Yeah. So if you're rushing now, you're going to be rushing then. So we practice slowing down in this here and now moment. So I encourage you to practice mindful eating and enjoy.